Hi, this is Daniel Johns with the North Shore Stake Sunday School with another quick teaching tip. I have here today an hourglass, and this is a true hourglass. It takes an hour for the sand to run from this side down to this side, and it's to remind us of how precious the hour is that we get to spend together in a Sunday school class. That second hour class that the brethren have said is important enough that we're going to do it twice a month. When you're in that class, there's a temptation, I think, to try to cover a huge block of scripture. And I'm not sure that's in the best interest of you as a teacher, and certainly not your class. We have a new program in the church, and that is home-centered Sunday school, supported by a Sunday school class instead of vice versa. And hopefully, and I know not everybody does, but hopefully your class members are studying Come Follow Me. And maybe the way you teach might encourage them to study Come Follow Me if they know they can't rely on you to just give them everything they should have done and could have done at home. At its best, Sunday school should be a directed discussion on carefully selected gospel principles. So you might want to try to narrow your focus to a few principles, a few precious principles, and linger there rather than try to sprint through a huge block of scripture. Sometimes, just by inviting the class to share some things that they've observed through their week of study can be a great way to start the class. What was most important to you in this block that you learned or relearned as you were reading through it? What are some things that were important and impactful and some things maybe you discussed with your family or at home? Or maybe you could just start the class with something like this. Could everybody take a fresh look at section 38? I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Have a look through there and see what verses jump out at you. Maybe some things that you've highlighted before, maybe some things that you discovered or rediscovered this week as you looked at it. Take a minute and look at that. And in a minute, be ready to share with us your favorite verse or favorite passage and why that's your favorite verse or favorite passage. As we do this, we have an opportunity to marinate a little bit in the scriptures instead of feeling like out of breath and we're just trying to rush through something really quick. When I look at section 38, and I looked at it just a minute ago in preparation for this, just some things that jumped out at me really quickly were, there is a discussion about God's omniscience in verse 2, about how he knoweth all things, and how does that omniscience play into his understanding of us and also his direction in the plan of salvation. He talks about being merciful in our weakness, and so that we should be strong. God does make weak things strong. He does provide mercy and plenty of second chances and opportunities to grow and improve ourselves. What a great discussion that could be. Verse 24 talked about practicing virtuousness and holiness before God. Another great road you could go down. Verse 25, let every man esteem his brother as himself. A great discussion for a ward talking about how we should treat each other when we're at our best. Verse 27, that same kind of theme. If you are not one, you are not mine. And the need for unity and how our lives have been blessed with unity. Verse 30 talks about treasuring up wisdom, which of course is the purpose of the Come Follow Me program. At the end of verse 30, it talks about if ye are prepared, ye shall not fear. How pertinent is that in today's age? And then, of course, I think the crown jewel in section 38, maybe the one that a lot of people will gravitate towards, but in and of itself could be a great discussion for the whole hour, is his commandment for the saints to go to the Ohio, and there you will be endowed with power from on high. I believe an early reference to the Kirtland Temple in the beginning of all the temple work and temple blessings that we have as such a centerpiece of the gospel, the restored gospel of Jesus Christ. So there's a lot of roads you could take with this. Again, you might want to try to narrow your focus to have fewer principles, but spend more time on those principles. That's the tip today. Good luck with your preparation and your teaching. As you go through it on your own to prepare for your class, always make it prayerful. Always be thinking about what does your class need most, not what does the lesson manual want us to do. Thanks. Keep up the good work.